Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon podcast. That buttery voice you're hearing is me, Moshe Kasher.
Nice. I never thought of your voice as buttery.
Been a lot of comments actually on the Instagram about my voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People think it's like sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God. My kid has a friend and she was like, the friend said to me, "You look sexy." And then our daughter was like, "What's sexy?" And then I was like, then she asked me once and I kind of ignored her. And then she asked me again and I said, "Sassy? It's kind of like wild." And now she's starting to say sassy instead of sexy.
That's a cool story that you made up.
I did not make it up.
Yeah, people are always saying to me, "You look sexy." All the time I walk down the street, people are like, "Sexy." Kids are like, "Look at that sexy man."
No, the girls called me sexy.
I believe you.
But how would you describe that word to a 4-year-old? You know, it makes someone want to have sex with you.
I wouldn't say that. No, I would probably say something more like, when someone's really pretty, sometimes you'll call them sexy, but it's more like when it's somebody that you want to date.
Ugh.
What do you mean, ugh?
For a 4-year-old?
Well, that was pretty PG, I feel.
No, I know.
What would you say? Sassy.
I would say,
Pretend
you mean sassy? That's
okay. Well, we have some sad-sy news, non-sexy news, which is
everyone thinks we're about to get divorced.
No, we're ending the podcast. No, we're not. But young Pablo is just not doing well. We were going to bring him down, but the problem is, so the listeners could say goodbye, but the problem is his cough is so intense. It's like we can't actually do a podcast. But he's just getting worse and worse. People came up to me in Seattle, and in North Carolina. They're saying, "How's Pablo?" And unfortunately, Pablo is not well. And tomorrow we have like the angel of death coming to.
Yeah, we found a doctor who comes to your house.
It's been very difficult for me, very difficult for you as well, because he's been incredibly, I would say, aggressively incontinent. It almost feels like an attack.
It's like liquid diarrhea
everywhere, every day, all the time. And he can't be pet without starting like a hacking, seizing cough.
But he also bites you when you try to pet him too.
Yeah, it's just been rough. And I've been like, trying to negotiate with the Reaper. That's what I call Natasha. For a couple of months, like trying to squint at him and go like, this is a good quality of life kind of. And I think it was the second day this week that I was scrubbing mashed in diarrhea out of my car seats and driving to a hardware store to get OxyClean leather cleaner. And I just was like, this isn't ever going to get better. This is clearly not going to get better, and it is going to get worse. And so this is about me at this point. I'm just like, I'm attempting to continue to like have my little pal who is now kind of just a rug that shits, like be still in the world. But anyway, I had a thought about him today. I'm sad. And tomorrow we're going to off him.
You had a thought about it?
Well, I don't think I'd be married to you if it wasn't for Pablo. You know how you always say like, Pablo's so lucky. We found him at the SPCA, the Pound in the Mission District in San Francisco, and no one else ever would have adopted him. I mean, that's the truth. Nobody else. He's, I think, 16 years old, and he would have been put to sleep if he hadn't had a bald chest. He would be dead right now, because I saw him online, and I was like, I need that bald chest in my life. It looks like a little hot water bottle. I'm trying to hang out with him.
Well, as you know, that's not the only that's not the only quality we look for in partners.
A bald chest?
Mm-hmm, or a nice chest.
It's one of the best things for me. I'm looking for a bald-chested woman always. But anyway, we went and got him, and he immediately revealed himself to be, his entire life. Now he's just...
But didn't you buy him for your mom? And she's deaf, and even she didn't want him. She thought his bark was too annoying.
She tried to return him to the Pound, and they said, "Why don't you keep him for a couple weeks?" And then
she said no. No,
she didn't. She brought him home. This is a good narrative on the story, though. And then he became my dog, because I was trying to like have a dog but not have a dog because I had commitment issues. Is my point. And then I took him full time, and he trained me. As bad of a dog as he was in some ways, he trained me to care for someone, to have to go home to someone, to have a responsibility outside of myself, and I had never had that before. And by the time you rolled around, the other hairless dog in my life, I feel just that I was slightly more ready to deal with the concept of a relationship where somebody else's needs were involved.
Well, I guess he's taught me to, I guess, just cater to others over myself. Like, or I don't know, like I remember you brought him in the first time you came over for a date, and you were like, "This is Pablo," and I was like, "Oh, like Picasso," and then he just immediately peed on my carpet.
Well, that's
and that was the first time he ever peed on one of my carpets. Now we don't even have carpets because we've had to get rid of them all, because he pees on them and shits on them. But yeah, I feel like I've learned to be a little selfless in the relationship with him. It's kind of all about him. I grew up with a problem child.
Dog or person?
A person. And the whole childhood was all about him and his needs and everything.
Do you think our household revolves around Pablo?
A little.
Really?
Kind of.
Oh, I don't feel that way. But will you miss him?
Yeah.
Will you?
Yeah.
Are you having a hard time being sincere right now?
No.
That's interesting to watch. I mean, our listeners right now have gotten to know the dog over the course of many years. They are going to be sad that he's gone.
Honey, they don't live with him.
I know, but you have an opportunity to...
I'm going to miss him a lot. I really love him. I do. He's cute. He has a nice chest.
All right.
I love him. What do you want from me?
I don't know.
You're like putting me on the spot.
Well, you knew we were going to talk about Pablo tonight.
I'm excited for his... I sat and had some quiet time with him yesterday and today.
You think about making a coat out of him?
I don't think it would take very well.
You don't think it would work on you?
No, it's more like you could make it like a tent, like you get
a small tent,
a doll tent.
You know that they offer you various
packages.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you can get we can bring the ashes back. I just think that's weird. Why would I want the ashes of my friend?
I would like Cutie's ashes to
what?
Spread over the ocean.
But they can be spread over the ocean without.
But it could be a little part of the ocean that I visit all the time. And then I'd be like, oh, this is just the same way you did your grandma's. Didn't you throw your grandma's ashes in like a very particular part of this bay and then you go visit it with your family?
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the ashes of a dog that doesn't.
My mom used to wear the ashes of our dog Max around her neck, I think.
Is that true?
Yeah, she was like very attached to this dog.
Well, that's sweet.
But you just want to like bury the body in our yard?
I would do a grave. That seems like natural and right. But apparently when you put a dog to sleep, you're not supposed to do that. Anyway, whatever.
Don't write in and tell us it's illegal. I've already been telling Moshe that for 3 days.
But I'm going to miss my friend. He was my dog he's been my dog for longer than I've been with you. He's been my dog for, I guess it's been 15 years. He had a good life. I feel that I was a good parent to him.
He's only bit like 4 people.
But anyway, all right. What are you going to miss about Pablo the most?
Well, I already spoke to him today about it because I had a little session with him and told him how much I loved him. I will miss his chest.
What other than his chest will you miss?
It's warm, his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a funny dog.
His chest is good.
He was funny.
Did you ever see Popeye when they're like, what do you like about Bluto? And she's like, he's large.
Oh,
and they're like, what else? And they're like, she's like, large.
Another thing about Pablo that people have said a lot over the years is that he, for his size, has a very large dick. Yeah, which I'm going to miss that.
I probably won't miss when I pick him up. It kind of slips out. And
it's so big, he has a hard time.
I mean, he does not have a big dick.
A lot of people have said that. I'm not making that up. And you know what they say? Like owner, like son. You ever heard that? Mm-mm. I've heard the rumor that if you are well endowed, you will subconsciously pick a dog that's well endowed. So that might be why I actually adopted him. Anyway, maybe we should bring him down at the end of the episode so people can say goodbye, or something. Should we have had him here the whole time, Laura? I think at the end you should. All right, we'll bring him down at the end and everybody can say goodbye. But I'm going to be so sad tomorrow. Then the other thing is we have dinner plans tomorrow. And I'm like, am I going to be able to go out to dinner? And if I don't Should I cancel dinner plans? And then also, what am I supposed to do? Why cancel them? I think I'll just go bum out my friends. I mean, I think that I have some advice. This is an advice podcast. I'm sure I've said it many times before, but never get 3 dogs at the same time, because then they'll all be sick at the same time. Like, Pablo's going to die, and then Cutie's next. Blanche seems very healthy, but I just feel like the gods, the dog gods, are going to conspire against us in that immediately after Cutie is at the end, Blanche is going to get sick. It's the worst part of pet ownership.
Oh, I know what I liked about Pablo.
Yeah.
Like, all of our friends who come over to our house, they always have like a favorite dog.
Yeah.
And I think like I could always tell who my damaged friends were because Pablo was their favorite dog.
That is kind of true. And I do think that's in a way why I loved him, is that he was damaged, but he was sweet. He was a loving, sweet, affectionate, damaged boy that just needed attention and love. And I think that he got that from us. Honestly, Natasha, as much of a Cruella de Vil as you play on this podcast, you've been at times very sweet to Pablo. And I think he certainly was abused when he was, well, I used to think he was abused. I used to take my belt off and he would cower. And for a long time, I thought that meant somebody used to hit him with a belt. But the more I got to know him, the more I thought, it's also possible he's just like really neurotic. But I think something happened to him, or maybe he was born weird, and we gave him a life, and we gave him home and a shelter and love. And I think that I will really miss him. I really will. I will miss him. I've been on a lot of adventures with him too. I've taken him camping. I've taken him all over the place. There's a little hot water bottle chest on my stomach, keeping me warm at night. I'm going to miss him. I was just looking at him in front of the fire tonight and thinking I'm not going to be able to see him anymore.
I'm sorry, honey.
Well,
at least you still have Cutie.
At least I've got Cutie. Should we go get Pablo?
No, we'll get him after because he has a
he does
coughing
have a chronic. That was what sucked. Is just now I was in the living room and I looked at him and I thought I'm gonna have a moment with him, and I went like lie down with my face next to his, started petting him, and he immediately just started hacking, coughing, and I'm like, fucking can't even be pet without coughing. It's time. Anyway, to the listeners, Pablo will be gone by the time this episode drops, but you'll still be here. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's call Dominique in Washington, D.C.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
We're all right.
Moshe has to put his dog down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, one of them's got to go.
So sorry.
Do you have a dog?
I wish.
Is that what you want help with? Is what kind of breed to buy?
No. Okay. Here's my issue. So I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. We just moved in together about 5 months ago, and we're currently in the middle of our first winter living together. And everything's really great, except for the fact that he has very poor circulation in his hands. And like the circulation's really bad. Like they're often ice cold. And it's just worse in the winter. And touch is his love language. So he'll often like try to touch me underneath my clothes.
Clammy
and I run really
hands.
warm. Yeah, I run really warm. So
that's probably why he's with you, partly.
Yeah, he's leeching the warmth away from me. But yeah, it wouldn't be a problem except for the fact that, when he's touching me with his ice cold hands, I'll like flinch or like jump a little bit, and it makes him feel bad because he can't help his cold hands. But I also can't help like reacting because it's like someone is pressing an ice cube like to my stomach.
Wait,
and it's a lot. Yeah.
Can he warm them up a little bit, or no? Is that not a thing?
He can't. Yeah, we've tried that. I tried being like, before you touch me, like, just warm your hands up a little bit. And like, he tries to do it and it doesn't really get them that warm. Maybe he should see a doctor. I don't know. Apparently it's always been like this with him.
No, that sounds like it sounds like it's not a big deal that he doesn't have blood circulating to his hands. I think that he should be fine. Whatever he does, don't go to the doctor.
They
He
have
can
these.
still use his hands. They're just often very cold.
They have these little things that they'll give you on a TV set where it's like if you're outside, it's like these little like packets.
I was just going to suggest this.
Those little packets, and they're like, you can buy them like in a pack of 50.
Yeah,
and you just kind of hold them, and they've got like weird. What's in them? It's almost like
I'm just thinking about our listeners right now. Many of them are single, and we often get the question like, why can't I find someone? And then for you to call in with your perfect fucking life, and you're like, he's like the perfect man in every way, except I do think sometimes when we're snuggling, his hands are a little cold. They are a little bit.
No, but nobody wants
I know
that.
this is
That
such
sucks.
a silly issue to have,
but it's real. It's real. I think Natasha's got literally. It's usually not that the solution.
We don't even know what they're called.
Well, it's usually not that the solution is this binary. Like it is this. I think this is the solution to your problem.
What are they called, Laura? Hand warmers?
You're not going to be able to remember the name of them. They're called hand warmers.
But they're like
Great.
small. They're like the size of a tea bag, maybe a little bigger.
And you break them. You break like a chemical reaction occurs inside of them, and they start to like glow in your pocket or whatever. It's perfect.
But what? He's just supposed to have them with him at all times?
No, I actually think she's supposed to have them at all times. I think actually because he's just living in this weird ice cold Narnia world where he thinks this is normal, that he's got like icicle hands. But you're the sufferer. You're the one that's being the brunt of his torture. You should just have them all the time. And when you get home and you're about to go to bed, you just crack it open. Go, here, honey, touch this for a little while before we get into bed, so you can hold me. I mean, right? It just feels like that's the solution.
Yeah, but I would also like urge him to see a doctor.
There's that too.
And, find out what exactly is it? Is there something to get the blood flowing? Because if it's like a shock every time he touches you, that's pretty crazy.
Can I ask some a very personal question? And you can decline to answer. Does it get in the way with like sex stuff? Like, is he ever like, by that time they've warmed up?
Yeah, it's weird. By that time they've warmed up, I've noticed his hands are the coldest when he's been working at his computer. He works from home. And I work, on site somewhere. So I'll come home from work and he'll get up from his computer and go greet me. And I'm like warm because I just walked home and I'm like bundled up and just very warm. And his hands are freezing cold. And that's usually when it's the worst, right? When he greets me when I get home from work.
I think it's
so I don't know if it would be weird for me to like as soon as I walk in be like, here, take this hand warmer. I don't know.
Is he aware that you are feeling this way, or is this like a thing you haven't? So he knows,
and he feels bad about it, and I don't want him to because he can't help it.
This feels so easy. You go.
Can he touch you through your clothes though? Sometimes.
Yeah. What is he doing? Grabbing your face and gazing in your eyes?
No, like sometimes we'll be hugging and he'll like want to go underneath my shirt on the back and like touch my back.
Why does he have to do that? He's the cold man.
Moshe's hands are warm and I don't want him doing that.
He's the Iceman. He should know. Okay, you know what? My move of the under the shirt deep officer and a gentleman greeting of my girlfriend is not that move is not good. But what I can do, because my love language is touch, is I can get these hand warmers, and when we get into bed together, then I can have warmed my hand, and I'm all good. I mean, it just feels like all you have to do is tell him that, the cold hands thing. It's just I mean, right, Natasha?
It's jarring.
Yeah, I love you, everything about you, except for your hands.
Yeah,
your hands got to go.
That's okay. That seems good.
Over the shirt.
Should we buy her some and send them to her?
Yeah, we're gonna buy you some.
Get them off
you know what?
Amazon?
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this Ellen style. Actually, if you look under your chair right now, no, we're gonna send her a box of. Can we do that for you? Can we do that? We want to. We will never buy anyone.
Have to do that.
We know we don't have to, but we think it would be quirky, and then you could.
We won't remember to send it to you. Don't worry.
Laura will. Laura's our producer. We
Okay.
want to. We want to. We want you to stop suffering.
See if it works, because like you could make it cute. You don't have to be like, we need to talk. You need to always have this before.
Good
but just
news.
be like, okay, I have this idea. You can keep these clothes. Oh, you have another idea?
I've got
Moshe?
a great idea. Does he know you? Does he listen to the podcast?
He doesn't. But
does he know you
knows
listen
that
to
I
it?
listen to it.
Okay, this is it. We got to write her a note, and send her the note with a box of the hand warmers, and then all the work will be off of your plate, right? Because it'll be like, oh, it's a joke, haha, but actually it's not in any way. Break this open and do it, and we can write a funny little note saying, Your girl told us that she loves everything about you except for your icicle hands and those hugs. So we suggest you use these. Then it'll be a cute way for you to get into it. Boom, you're in. We've just solved your life.
How long? I have a question. How long into dating him did you realize he had this hand issue?
So it was really not until we moved in together, and now I'm, around him all the time, and we're together in this very, the apartment is colder than it should be. It's a very drafty apartment. And so I think just being together all the time mixed with the cold made me realize, oh, his hands are actually abnormally cold sometimes.
You know what my grandma used to say? I'm sure your grandma did too. It feels like everybody's grandma used to say this. Cold hands, warm heart, as they say.
Yeah, it's absolutely not true.
You don't think so?
No, that's a dumb saying.
Well, my grandma used to say it, and she was pretty smart.
She was just being cute.
Yeah, I guess in a way I am too.
All right, well, listen.
We've solved your issue.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, bye, Dominique.
Bye.
Man, I like a problem like that. I like it when people call and they're like, I don't know what to do because my grandfather has terminal cancer, but he's also spewing racist hate speech every time I go to visit him. But I don't want to get written out of the will because my house will get foreclosed upon. What do you think I should do? I don't always know what to say. For this, I'm like,
show up.
For this, I'm like, buy some hand warmers.
Right.
It's so easy.
Exactly. I'm glad you don't need hand warmers, Moshe.
Me too.
All right, should we take another call?
Here we go. Natasha.
Yeah, Moshe.
I actually have been thinking lately, you know what I could use a little bit of right now?
What's that now?
Individual therapy. There's some specific things that I want to work out. We've been going to couples counseling. It's been awesome for us. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, why don't I find an individual therapist? And then I remembered Talkspace. It makes it so easy that there's no excuse not to do it.
When it comes to therapy and psychiatry, getting the help you need has never been so accessible and affordable. You can get mental health care with or without insurance with Talkspace. When you're able to access your provider from the comfort of your device, it means mental health care can be on your schedule, and skipping the wait times to get an appointment or the travel time to get to an office can free up time for the rest of your life. I was able to have lunch with my daughter today because we can have our therapy appointment on Zoom.
Yeah,
and it just really does make your life better.
What I can say is that I know men go through this a lot, but I think women probably do too. It's so easy to know you need something and not do something about it. So anything that makes that easier is such a beautiful thing. And that's what Talkspace is.
And talking about your problems, it really does help you.
They match you with a therapist who's licensed and has specialties in the thing that you need, like anxiety, addiction issues, anger issues, whatever it is that you need. There's somebody there that can talk to you. They accept insurance. It's secure, it's private, and it's on your schedule. As a listener of this podcast, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/honeymoon. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/honeymoon and get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show.
All from the comfort of your home. To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/honeymoon to get $100 off your first month and show your support for the show. That's Talkspace.com/honeymoon.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
I love when we do an ad for a product that we used before they became advertisers, were acolytes of the product, and made our lives easier. ZocDoc made finding a doctor's appointment so easy. I cannot recommend it enough.
I mean, you just go on your phone, you type in your address, you find people who are close, people who are available.
You even type in what kind of appointment you want. Dermatology. I go to a lot of dermatologists.
Do you really?
No.
No, but I just love that you can read the reviews, read what other people have said about them, and they just happen to have an opening, so you can go there and you don't have to get the wait time. I've been having to do doctor stuff, and it's things are 6 weeks out.
No, that's the thing.
It's really frustrating.
You have an issue. You go online and you type into Google dermatologist near me. You call them. They're like, we don't have it. You go to ZocDoc, you say, I need a dermatology appointment. 15 doctors around, and they tell you exactly when they're ready, what their rating is. It's awesome. ZocDoc is the best. It's the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
On ZocDoc, you'll find quality doctors who focus on you, listen to you, and prioritize your care.
So go to ZocDoc.com/honeymoon and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many available within 24 hours.
You can book an appointment with a few taps in their app and start feeling better faster with ZocDoc.
That's ZocDoc.com/honeymoon. ZocDoc.com/honeymoon.
We're going to call Josh in Phoenix.
Josh.
Hello.
We can hear you but not see you for some reason.
Uh-oh. Okay.
There he is.
Here we go.
Yes.
Hi, Josh.
Yes. That's the boy I thought I was going to be seeing when I saw Phoenix, Arizona. Yes. What's happening?
Not much. How are you guys?
We're great. We're doing great.
What's Phoenix like in the winter years or months?
It's pleasant.
Is it like 60s?
Today it was rainy. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, probably 50s, 60s.
Okay, because I've been to Phoenix and it's like the hottest place I've ever been in my life in the summer. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what the winter brings.
Yeah, the winters are nice.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Kind of like LA, except you guys get hotter.
And
Right.
and they don't have catastrophic mudslides and people falling into the sea.
But they don't have
Exactly.
any culture. So
That's
kinda
true
like
too. Yeah, it's a 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
So what's going on?
Not much. I'm really nervous.
Don't be
okay.
nervous.
Man.
Moshe and I have already gotten in like 3 fights. He's putting his dog down tomorrow.
Yeah, we're killing my dog tomorrow. Does that make you feel
So-
any better?
Oh, I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, Moshe, I like your haircut.
Thank you. That actually helps a lot.
It does. Moshe's hair is very important to him.
It honestly really is. But yours is too, actually.
Important to me?
Yeah, you're always like having a person over to do your haircut. Josh, have you ever thought about how much, do you date women?
I do.
Have you ever thought about how much it costs women in your life, but just women in general, to do their hair? Natasha just told me how much she spent on her hair, and it took the wind out of me.
And look how bad it
It's a
looks.
lot.
It looks amazing.
I mean, I didn't really do it. It looks good if someone does it.
It's insane how much women, what do you spend on a haircut? 30, 40, 50, 60?
Like 50?
50.
Yeah.
Women, they're out here starting at $250.
Yeah.
What?
Insane.
And that's the only thing that's more difficult for women, the truth is. I've been thinking about it. That's the one difference.
Right. And and then you add the color and all that.
It's crazy. I honor you. I honor you, Natasha.
I mean, you're paying for it. We split
Oh,
things.
I honor me, I guess. Josh, can we borrow $250?
Wait, so Josh,
Sure.
tell us how we can help you. Don't be nervous.
Okay. So I wrote down notes like Natasha always suggests. I got bullet points. So I proposed to my fiance last September.
Mm.
We plan on eloping in October. Both of us have been married before, and we have no interest in inviting people.
Great
paying
excuse for an elopement. No one's gonna get mad at that.
Right. Somebody will.
I mean, it's just you can just feel like you can just pretend like you have collective trauma about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, we wanted. Oh, my God. Oh, you also, the cool thing is when you elope, you can really blame the new partner. You go, God, I wanted a ceremony. I wanted to honor my love and my family and my friends. But this woman, she wouldn't do it. She said, we spent too much on her hair. And that was that.
Yeah.
All right. So you're eloping.
She sent me a thing. It said elopement is self-care.
That,
So
is-
her mom's not super happy about it, but we're excited. So.
I love that. Elopement is self-care. That's true, actually.
Well, depending on your situation.
Yeah. Good. So what's up?
Okay, so my first marriage, I was Mormon, so we didn't do vows. So this is my first time like doing anything with vows. And I know, Moshe, you're a bit of a writer, and you, Natasha, recently, so I just wanted to see if I could get a little bit of help.
Vow help. Well, let me start with I got bad news. We didn't do vows for each other. Jews don't do vows either. And
Okay.
I thought I dodged a bullet, but right? Didn't you feel
but
like
anything that you want to write that's heartfelt, although I have heard of, is she doing them too? Because my friend just got back from a wedding and said that one person did them and the other person didn't.
that is very funny.
Like you want to make sure you're both on the same page.
Like she read the thing and he was like, I'm good. I got nothing.
Well, it was vice versa, but yeah.
That's funny.
So she said that like shortly after we started dating, she wrote some stuff down and like, she's like, it sounds like it's like pretty good, because she said I read it to a couple of my friends and both of them cried. So
that made you think you have to bring it.
Yeah, that put the pressure on me.
I mean, this is hilarious that you are eloping and are stressing out about vows.
Yeah,
it's like that's the thing you're supposed to not have to do, is publicly declare the way that you love this person.
It's not even public. It's going to be to
but
what?
it's
Like
for her.
Yeah, I know. I get it. In a way that it's hilarious, but in a way it is definitely hilarious. But in another way, it takes, in some ways, the pressure off of you, because, okay, maybe you're not going to be as eloquent as she is, but you're not going to have to worry about being embarrassed. That's the thing about vows, that they can be embarrassing because you're doing this public display. But this is just to the person you love, who you love so much that you're getting married. It feels like it can be as intimate as you want. You could talk about specific sexual details, and I know as an ex-Mormon, that's probably a real comfort zone for you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? He's got it in him. She's got him. They want to do it. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, what do you love about
Oh my
him?
God, I have nothing.
You don't have anything?
He wants us to write his vows.
What?
No.
Maybe Pablo could write your vows.
I don't have anything written specifically. I have like I want to talk about how she's such a safe person. Like I feel like I can be completely vulnerable with her. She is like a true, like a person that I feel like is a true partner. Like I don't dread coming home and making dinner, because like we do it together. We do everything like as a partnership, and like we both like want to raise our kids together. And she's a person that like only wants good for me. She's an amazing person.
She has totally manipulated you into writing vows, though, because she's like, I've written some vows. I just sent them to my friend. 2 of them cried.
I mean, it is funny. She flexed on you with the crying information. I mean, why mention that?
So you have to let her go first.
Oh,
so
okay.
She goes, and then, you can just...
Wait, why does she go first? He doesn't want to follow that. Isn't that a classic adage in comedy? I don't want to follow that.
Oh, I was
She's
just
gonna
thinking...
crush.
If he could add some more on.
What do you mean?
Like if she goes completely over the top, he can just be like, same.
Oh, ditto. You could be like, back at you.
Or he could just like repeat some of the things she said.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Romantic.
This does not appeal to me, though. I would not want to have to give vows.
Well, I just be honest with you, Josh. What you said already in its rough bullet point form is
enough
and beautiful and sweet and kind, and she's not expecting you to write a Pablo Neruda poem for her.
I have it. Everything you said is good, but try to put a little more story behind it.
That's good.
When I left the church, hopefully, and met you, and just tell the story a little bit, and say, and then
I love this.
And now you are my safe choice, and then I used to make it more of a story. I used to come home and make dinner and feel depressed or whatever by myself. And now together, knowing that there's nothing I can't do with the help of you, and to know that the 2 of us going side by side together can accomplish anything. And maybe if she's an ex-Mormon too, maybe even like incorporate some bit of scripture that is important to you that might still ring true to her or to your life.
As Joseph Smith said upon gazing upon the angel Moroni, something like that.
I'd rather not mention the name of Joseph Smith.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, if there was anything,
there's nothing more romantic than a Joseph Smith drop. Okay, we mentioned him at our wedding, and we're Jews.
I only said that because I was basically saying a Bible quote where they're like, if 2 go together in my name, you can accomplish anything, or whatever that quote is. But I'm just saying, if you can kind of turn it into a story. And then when you said yes, like make it all about her. Like you can say all those things that you just said, but try to frame it.
This is great advice, Natasha.
Thank you.
And I have an addendum to it, or an addition, or because you made me think. Here's a structure for you. It's what Natasha kind of already was laying out for you. You do the story thing and you say, like, I used to think blank and now I blank. This is a very nice romantic structure. I used to think that when my marriage ended, I would never love again, but now I blank. I used to think I was alone in the world, but now I come home and you're the safe blah, blah, blah. I used to cook alone, but now I blank. You got this like nice narrative kind of framing device.
And finding someone that you can see, and don't mention your ex, wives and husbands.
I used to think I'd never love again or something like that.
Well, but just seeing someone, meeting someone where she makes everything easier and you do everything together, and all of a sudden things that were tasks are now a joy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really important thing. And, it's, you guys are lucky to have met each other and just kind of like flatter her a little bit.
Yeah. The used to is the life that you thought you were going to have. And the now I is the life that you have now that she's here. I used to think that I would raise my kids just me. And now I've got this great, you can plug all of the really sincere things that you were saying about her. I mean, you're going to win because she loves you. I mean, all you're doing is telling her how much you love her. So you've already won. She's going to think you're amazing. But you try this story thing. You try this used to now. You got yourself a love poem, my brother.
That's perfect.
And you know what else? What's always good is like a little excerpt.
From the... Yeah, from like the Diary of Joseph Smith, or just to throw it out there.
E. Cummings, something like accessible, maybe something shared, a shared interest, like some little quote where someone who is a poet can say what you were thinking. You can even Google quotes on marriage, or I don't know, like love quotes on marriage, and find something that really speaks to you. Like when I was writing my book, like every chapter begins with a quote because I've like been collecting them my whole life. But there was a few chapters where I didn't have anything, and just like spending a day kind of like looking at excerpts and finding these. I think it's. And when we got married, but see, no one's there, so this is really just for her. But when we got married, the rabbi said that have someone come up and say something in Italian to honor your heritage, Natasha.
So yeah, for your Mormon heritage, you have someone come up and say something very American. Just really strongly in English.
Oh, are Mormons only in America?
Well, not anymore, but they
started in America.
Do you know that the Mormon thing? Sorry to get into that. I know you don't want to talk about it. It's the last thing you want to talk about.
These poor people are born from it. They don't know what to do except leave the church.
The funniest part to me about the Mormon religion is that they think that Jesus died tell me if I'm wrong here, in Israel, like everybody thinks, but he was resurrected in Missouri? Or something. He popped back up in the United States of America. I was just like, "What's up? I'm here." And then he met all the Native Americans, and they were like, "Hey, we're the lost tribes of Israel." It's such an American-centric religion. Anyway,
basically,
that's neither here nor there. And then so you've got a little framing device. You got Natasha's idea. I think is great. And then at the end, if you want to be poetic, find some. This is a little corny, but. They're vows. They're supposed to be corny. You do your little framing device. You used to think this. Now I think this. You used to think this. Now I think this. And then something at the end where you go, and now there is no, I don't know if this is too corny for you. What do you think, Natasha? You have a cringe-ometer that will say if this is bad. But now there is no used to. There is just us. There's just us and the future, and I can't wait to see what happens next. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I do a Lord Byron quote.
Or
a song. Is there a song? I don't know. I'm just saying I always like ending with a quote. But you could say something like that. I mean,
I just like that.
It's already there. It's just like making it seem like it's the story. Your life is like the greatest story in the world, and make it her princess storybook, thing.
Right, and say you are the Meghan to my Harry. I think a lot of
you are
the
like H to my.
You're H to my M.
You're the M to my H.
M to my H. Yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, you're the has. You're the has to my Meg. Or I'm the Meg to your has. Anyway, the point is...
I love H&M.
The point is you don't have to worry about killing it, because the truth is that your emotions are going to come through and she's going to be touched no matter what you write. You just have to be honest and vulnerable and tell her how you feel. And if that doesn't work, have a Jewish ceremony, because you don't have to worry about that.
And also, keep it short.
Oh yeah, keep it short. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But like punch, like make it strong.
Right.
Okay. Go for it.
But keep it short. I think so. Because there's nothing worse than bombing for a long time. Get in, get out, throw your punches. Used to think, now I think. Here's our story. Blah, blah, blah. Lord Byron, and we out. And give her a peace sign at the end. Women love that. I could tell you that for sure. If you end it and you go, all right, that's it. I'm out. Peace. That's romance right there.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, you should drop the mic. That's a great idea. Yeah. Where are you guys getting married and how? Before we let you go.
We're thinking Grand Canyon or
Beautiful.
like somewhere pretty in Arizona.
Unbelievable. So beautiful. Hike to the bottom.
Yeah, there you go.
One of the best experiences of my life. Hike to the bottom. They say 90% of people go to the Grand Canyon, spend 20 minutes at the rim looking down, and then they get in their car and drive away. Hike to the bottom.
In a wedding dress.
In a wedding dress. You could put her on a burro. Put her on a burro in a wedding dress. That'd be a story.
All right. Well, good luck, honey. And, get that date.
All right.
Do it.
All right. Good luck to you. And congratulations.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
We had such happy callers today. Everyone's in a healthy,
happy mood.
happy relationship.
I know. Icicle fingers was the biggest problem we encountered today. Except, I guess, Pablo.
Well, the problem... Yeah, poor Pablo. I do love him.
Oh, should I go get him?
Yeah, Moshe's going to go get him.
Okay, Tosh, you say whatever you want about me while I'm not in the room. And you just keep rolling, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Problem with icicle fingers is once something starts to annoy you about somebody, it's really hard to not be annoyed by it. And it sort of overcomes you. Like Moshe cracks his knuckles in my ears many times a day. And I don't like it. I try to say something. Sometimes I act like really, like we'll be laying down watching something. He's got his arm around me and he'll start cracking his knuckles in my ear. And I'm like, oh, wait, what was that? To try to draw attention to how annoying that is. And sometimes he's like, oh, I'm sorry. That was really loud. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't know what that was. The good news is he's never going to listen to this podcast, so he doesn't know this. Oh, here's Pablo. Hey, Pablo. Oh, poor guy. Do you have any last words, Pablo?
This is what? Oh, Tosh. Look at his poor little self. Well, at least he's not painting a particularly attractive picture as he takes off.
I mean, you wanted to get him, but you were right to not have us do the whole podcast.
I know, that would have been a lot to ask of our listeners. Hey, if you love him.
No, they already told us no more Pablo in the editing in the recording room.
I'm really gonna miss him.
I'm sorry, honey.
I know it's his time, but I just feel like
I think the other dogs will miss him too. Look, Cutie will miss him.
yeah, she definitely is looking directly away from him. But should we show his chest?
I know. I told the
should we show his chest
our
and his
kid
dong?
today. You said we're gonna have to put him down tomorrow, and she said, "Oh, why not today?"
She said, I asked her today, I go, are you sad that Pablo's going to go? And she said, yeah, I'm sad. Can I watch something? It was like the way that children grieve. But hold on. Just before he goes, I really will miss him.
Well, we can always not put him down.
No. Look at that chest.
Honey, that does not make anyone think it's cute.
Look at that chest and look at that big dick. I mean, I'm going to miss him.
Don't
Poor guy.
sexualize the chihuahua.
I've known him for 16 years. He's never gotten any action. Never gotten laid.
Well,
no love from the ladies.
We're going to have a funeral for him tomorrow. Pablo, good night, sweet prince.
Good night, you lord of the mission. You prince of East Side Los Angeles. You prince of Silver Lake.
Something else I like about him, he's the same color as the other dogs. The white is the same.
There you go.
And so whenever I walk them all three, people are like, are they related? And I say, of course not.
I'll always remember him. He was a good boy.
Of course you will. All right, honey, if anyone has a secret, please give us a call. 213-222-8608. Or if you need advice, send us an email at henless honeymoon pod.
Let's say endless, just in case.
Endless honeymoon pod at Gmail. Also, find us on Instagram, YouTube, and subscribe to our Patreon. Don't forget, if you're in the San Francisco area, we will be at Sketchfest.
Oh, yeah.
January 27th. And we need people to come on stage. If you live in the Bay, hit us up.
Hit us up for sure.
Hit us up. Send us an email at endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.
Oh, and Reggie Watts is our guest, by the way.
Cool. This is going to be fun. But we need you to get up on stage, ask us all for advice. We'll see what we can do for you. And Moshe?
Yeah?
I'm sorry.
Thank you, honey.
I love you.
That's not what I want to hear tonight.
What do you want to hear? You want me?
Say I love you. Say
Pablo.
Pablo?
Pablo.
We love you.
I love you.
We'll miss you.
Pablo, I love you.
I love you too.